Warning: the following episode contains mature subject matters, mentions of immigrant culture, and a Brazilian host with the energy of a chaotic vampire. Listener discretion is advised. You're listening to The Laura Faritos Show. My name is Laura Faritos, and this is my show. That sums it up. This is episode 2, Avatar Laura, Morning Routine. Enjoy. Hello. Thank you so much for listening to my show. If you are coming back after listening to episode 0 and episode 1, wow, you are a true warrior among us, and I respect you so much. And I'm so thankful that you still want to listen to me mumble. That's so meaningful to me. If you do not know me, and this is your first time listening to my show, hello! My name is Laura Faritos. I'm a Brazilian immigrant. I have been living in Canada for roughly 10 years now, and this show is really my outlet so I can talk about my personal lived experiences, so I can interview people that I think are interesting, and so that I can promote businesses that align themselves with me. And that sums it up. Today's episode is really about my evolution into the best version of myself, what I like to refer to as Avatar Laura. And no, I do not mean James Cameron's Avatar, okay? I do not want any of you thinking that my morning routine, Avatar Laura, is gonna be inspired by the routine of the people of Pandora, okay? Even though Pandora and Laura sound like the same, and I had a classmate back in comedy school, Cyrus, who used to refer to me as Pandora all the time. This is not the avatar we're talking about, okay? We are talking about Bender avatars, okay? We are talking about ultimate mastery of all elements avatar. This is what I'm talking about. And I imagine Avatar Laura to be the best version of myself simply because that is the version of me that has mastered discipline. That has been a huge topic, a huge theme in my life lately. And I would first of all like to master the discipline of a morning routine, which is why we have this episode. And afterwards, my next goal is gonna be to master the discipline of an evening routine, which is gonna be the next episode. Long story short, I have 3 personal development goals for myself this year in order to achieve the best version of myself so far. Of course, with each coming year, I intend to improve and continuously seek the best version of myself. But for 2023, what I'm aiming to get is 3 goals. 1, my morning routine. 2, my evening routine. 3, a job in my field. I repeat, a job in my field. So I think that's a good enough introduction as to where I'm at with my headspace and my goals for 2023. So before we talk about the morning routine that I'm trying to achieve, let's talk a little bit about where I'm at in my life right now. I am trying to move out of Niagara Falls because I would like to move back to Toronto, specifically so that I can get a job in my field, which, if you don't know that yet, it's the field of radio broadcast. So there's that. I have been on a conundrum to move out of Niagara Falls. The first time I attempted to record an episode for this podcast was on March 5th. And at that point in time, when I recorded my first demo attempt, I was like, next week I should be moved into my house in Toronto, and that's gonna be an episode to talk about like my adaptation and how I'm living by myself and all of those things. And since March 5th. At the time that I'm recording this, it's April 5th, so it's been 1 month. And during this 1 month, I have gone through endless trials of thinking I found a place in Toronto, thinking I locked that place in Toronto, and then like days before the move, either, the landlord would pull out or somebody would make an offer with like a higher rent price. One of those places, I had all the requirements that were needed for rental application. I applied. I felt super confident that I was going to get approved. It was near my mom's office. It was like the perfect place. And they rejected me without any explanation. My mom has the theory that the landlord rejected me on the basis that I'm Brazilian and that everyone else in that condo was like Canadian and maybe they'd have a problem with that. I find that a little hard to believe. But as I was going through some online reviews of that condo complex, I saw a lot, and I mean a lot of comments about that condo being haunted. So I guess that was a dodged bullet for me, because if there's one thing that I've established in common between episode 0 and episode 1 is that I am 100% that chaotic friend that's always at the wrong place at the wrong time. Like, if anything is likely to happen to 1% of the population in the world, I guarantee you I will be there for it. I just happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time all the time. And I've also had my fair share of supernatural experiences. So, yeah, I dodged a bullet. As of right now, I don't know where I'm going to be living. And that's part of the reason why I'm trying so hard to establish a morning routine for myself. I need some sort of consistency, because I could be moving out of my mom's house in 4 weeks, in 8 weeks, in 12 weeks. Like, how long is it going to be until I lock in a place? Based on these past experiences that I've had just trying to find something, And if I am going to be there for an undetermined amount of time, my anxiety is just gonna be off the roof, First of all, I'm gonna be anxious about my work situation, because I'm definitely going to be applying for jobs in radio stations in Toronto, even if I'm not living in Toronto yet. I think before, my mentality was I'm going to move to Toronto first and then I'm going to apply to jobs. But now I'm at a mentality where I'm going to apply to jobs first and then I'll figure out where I'm going to live afterwards. If I have to crash with my friends during the week between Monday to Friday so I can get to work until I can get myself an actual apartment, I will do that. If I have to make my friends breakfast, walk their dogs, give them massages, I don't know, but I will pay my worth and find a way to crash in Toronto if I have to. But it's specifically this uncertainty as to what's gonna happen to me, that's driving me crazy, and why I'm craving discipline so much. And when it comes to my ideal morning routine for me, that implies that I can walk my dog for an hour before I leave to work. That implies that I can do some basic level of chores so that my bedroom, my kitchen, my bathrooms look, presentable for me when I come home. And I would definitely 100% like to make my skincare routine non-negotiable. I have not been taking care of myself during the pandemic. Learning how to take care of myself again has been a learning curve. And that's just crazy to me, because I used to be one of those skincare girlies when I was 19, 20, 21. I was obsessed. I had like a 10-step routine and all those things, and completely lost sight of all of that. And I feel like in the past 5 years, the trends for self-care have changed so much that I'm completely out of the loop. Like, I want to take care of myself, but I don't even know what a proper routine looks like nowadays, because Like, I see everyone online talking about, like, serums. You know, what serums are you putting in your face in the morning? How is that different from, nighttime? It's all these serums with these weird names that I cannot, for the love of God, pronounce, even if you put a gun in my head. Neamside, salicylic, salicylic acid. I'm not even gonna try. The point is, I want to understand how that works. What are serums? What are face oils? How are they different from serums? And how are they different from moisturizers? And how is any of that different from a toner? I don't get it. I do not get it. And I want to. I want to have a skincare routine that makes my skin look beautiful and fresh and soft. And right now, my skin looks like I've been stepped on by a bunch of raccoons, nibbled on by a bunch of babies, punched by a bunch of minions. I don't know. The point is, my skin needs help. And I am on a mission to figure out a proper skincare routine. But I refuse to be those people that will spend $500 with their skincare routine, just because I don't think that's accessible at all. I don't think that's realistic on a long-term basis. So I want to find a skincare routine that's like proper, anti-aging and like good for brightening my face and making my skin glow and stuff, but something that I can get from grocery stores or like Shoppers Drug Mart or Walmart or something like that. I don't want to have to rely on Sephora products for that, and I don't want to recommend like those super expensive products either to you. I do believe that quality can be compensated by price, but I also think that there are just as good skincare products that are affordable out there, and they're just not super popular, So I'm convinced that I can find a really good routine. I can share that with you, and if you find a really good skincare routine that works for you in the mornings, then send it to me. For instance, sunscreens. What is up with that? I used to think that I only had to put on sunscreen on a sunny day. Apparently, you have to put it on every single day, otherwise you age super fast. And apparently, applying it in the morning before you leave your house isn't enough. You also have to be reapplying it throughout the day. So what do you do if you have makeup on? What kind of sunscreen do I put on to refresh myself during the day if I already have makeup on? What do you do if you have breakouts? What kind of skincare do you put on for sunscreen on top of makeup? Or is there makeup with sunscreen that you put? Like, do you see what I mean? Anyway, so that's what I want to figure out for skincare in my morning routine. And ideally, I would like my skincare routine to not take longer than 15 minutes, which I think is doable. Is entirely doable. To get a proper comprehensive skincare routine, that's just 15 minutes of my time. It should be doable. When it comes to chores, I would like to find some sort of routine in which I can take the first 30 minutes of my day to just, clean the cat litter and sweep the floor and give it a quick mop so that, it doesn't look all dusty and stuff. I would also like to be able to figure out my laundry early in the morning, because I hate laundry. I really, really hate laundry. I hate doing it. And if it's up to me, I will wait 3 weeks, 4 weeks at a time before I do any laundry. And I'm thinking that the most effective way to tackle that would be for me to just include that in my morning routine. That I wake up, throw the laundry into the machine, take my dog on a walk for an hour, do the thing and stuff, and by the time I come back and I'm ready to like finish my morning routine, I can already like put the clothes into the dryer and have them like dried by the time I come home at the end of the day, and before bed I can just fold the laundry and put it away, you know? Anyway, this is not something that I'm going to be able to figure out right away. I'm gonna figure it out as I go, but I will surely document that over YouTube, because I think it's gonna be really fun for me to look back at a year from now at whatever routine I'm in, you know? Like, am I ever gonna join the 5 a.m. club, for instance? That's a question that has been on my mind for a while now, because I've always been a night owl. I've always thrived as a night owl, but every single person I've ever read talking about personal development has talked about the importance of waking up at 5 in the morning. So, am I capable of that change? We'll see. We will see. We'll document that throughout the year. Besides being a part of the 5 a.m. club, am I capable of sticking to a proper fitness routine? Right? I've tried almost everything and I could never stick to it. And that's, I think, one of my biggest problems when it comes to being a Swiss Army knife, is that I try a little bit of everything, but I'm not good or consistent with any particular thing, especially when it comes to fitness. And that's something I would like to change. I don't know if my approach to fitness this year is going to be by attending the axe throwing league, because I know in Toronto people do axe throwing competitions, and I might include B-rolls of that when I repost this on YouTube, but I had a really fun time throwing axes, and that's particularly fun to me because my name in Portuguese, Laura Machado Faria, Machado translates to axe. So it's like, it's in my name, it's in my blood. I don't know if my approach to fitness this year is going to be to consistently go to the axe throwing league, or if my approach is going to be to consistently join the Pilates Princess Club, because I've taken low impact Pilates classes a few times since November, and I've actually noticed a difference in my body. So there's that. And maybe I'll try capoeira so I can stay in touch with my Brazilian roots, but we'll see. What about you? What is your avatar self like? What is your morning routine like? Do you prioritize chores and self-care? Do you include fitness in your goals? What kind of fitness would you consider? Please send me your recommendations, and next episode we'll talk about my evening routine for the best version of myself. See you there! And this was the episode. You've made it to the end. You listened to my voice this whole time and it didn't drive you crazy. Congratulations! Thank you so much for supporting me. I truly appreciate it. If it wasn't for you, I would be talking to myself. So, thank you! If you'd like to stay up to date with my weekly episodes and occasional videos, please follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Laura Faritos. If you'd like to stay up to date with my work besides the show, please go ahead and sign up for my monthly newsletter. There, I summarize key takeaways from my episodes, I share links to any other content I produce, and I also include tickets to comedy shows, so that's always nice. Finally, if you'd like to take an extra step and support the making of the show, please consider making a one-time donation, buying my merch, or signing up for my Patreon for just $2 a month. You get all my content ad-free, full length, and sometimes even the behind-the-scenes process. I'm looking at you, media production students. You like the show? Do you? Do you? You like the show? Prove it. Give me your money. Pay me cash. Dollars. I want dollars. This has been a public service announcement. See you in the next episode. Ciao, ciao.
Sou foda.